The thought is, when you're in a crisis situation and you live in it, you start to get immune to it. And you don't realize the real threat that you're in. I started out as a teacher, and I love teaching. I thought it was one of the best skills for becoming a spymaster. We ran a lot of people. I've been in countries that have been overthrown. I've been in war zones. I've been running large armies, all in covert action. Through the Cold War, Rick Ames, the spy who was inside of CIA, I knew him, went to his wedding. But when I think back, I really believe that this is the most unstable environment I've ever seen. We have problems in Ukraine, Syria, Iraq's falling apart, Afghanistan's going to fall apart and is in a long way towards that. Now we have Israel and the Palestinians, Hamas at it. We have a huge problem on the border in Mexico. This is a very, very unstable environment. And I think more than ever, not just CIA's intelligence collection part, but the ability to work below the radar is going to be more and more in demand. Ukraine, I think, is particularly interesting. I think it surprised everyone, both the Russians and ourselves, how quickly the government fell apart. But when you look at Putin, there's an ex-KGB, he served in Germany, by the way, very traditional in his look at Russia and how he looks at espionage. He took the Crimea, but he really doesn't want all of the Ukraine. He wants it not to be in the West, and he wants it to be so weakened that he will maximize his influence. He is buying political figures. He has, I know for a fact, over 200 agents in the eastern part alone. In other words, he's going to do everything he can to maximize his influences, to be able to put your arm on someone and say, I would like you to betray your country and work for me. It's not an easy thing to do. The truth of the matter is, most of the people I dealt with don't identify with their country in the same way and want to be part of the U.S. System. But sometimes you run up against it when it's being driven in your direction. And in Rick Ames' case, he thought he was so smart that he could control his relationship with the Russians. He walked into the Russian embassy and offered his services for $50,000, and he was going to give them just a little piece of information. He gave them the names of 11 Russian spies, people that worked inside the system, and all 11 were executed. In 1995, I got a call to go down to Haiti, to the White House, and they said, look, we want you to go down and tell the dictator to get out of Haiti. The truth of the matter is, when he showed up, we knew he was very, very nervous, and he wouldn't drink any water. And for those of you that ever poisoned anybody, the best, so there's a few that have, I can tell. The best way to deliver that is in pumpkin soup, because it sort of kills the taste, and unscripted, because I was there with the chief of station. The maid comes in with 3 bowls of pumpkin soup. I honestly thought he was going to die on the spot. When I talked to Lake, he said, listen, you tell him this, and he'll tell you that, and then you do this, and you're scripting it, And I meant to laugh, because that isn't how life is. And if you're sent down to tell somebody to get out of town, you can't use a Washington script. A week later, he left because our planes took off from Florida. And he gets on the radio and said, they sent this big guy down, and he threatened to kill me, my wife, and my children. And I never said anything about his wife or children, So anyway, the point is, there's a lot of points in it. It's not just a story. It's, there's role playing, there's serious issues of state, and how do you, convince people to do your bidding, so to speak. You have James Bond, and you have George Smiley in Le Carré's novels. And what you really don't get sometimes is that there are people, you know, there are people that go to ShopRite and have coupons and cut grass and have children and have to explain these things to them. So there's a very human side to the espionage business.
It's a human business.
Legacy we want to leave behind us.